Those are
That narrates.
those are the officials.
Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach. I want to welcome you to our operations meeting for Tuesday, July the 9th. At this time, I'll recognize my executive assistant, Anne Marie Grill, to read the public comment policy.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used. Teams Q&A. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the county's discretion. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue. The county shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any response to public comment will be done at the county's discretion.
Thank you very much, Anne Marie. We are both in person and broadcasting via Microsoft Teams live event. Are there any additions or corrections for the June 11th operation meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. There's no public comment in person, and I believe there's no public comment online on specific agenda items. So we will jump right into our agenda. We have one item on the agenda. We have McGriff here, Peter and Rich from McGriff, and I'm going to start by recognizing our Chief Human Resource Officer, Jessica Weekneck, to talk about the dental coverage proposal for 2025.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
So typically we have our review of insurance coverage moving into 2025, more towards the end of summer with McGriff presenting. But today we're going to break out and specifically discuss the dental coverage because we are proposing a potential change in carrier. And McGriff will go over that shortly. And with our Oracle system, we need to get a jump start on that. So that's why we're discussing it today, as opposed to when we meet with you and go over everything we're looking at recommending for the 2025 insurance coverage. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Pete and Rich, and we'll go into the details of the proposed change with the carrier. Thank you.
Very good.
Great. Thank you, Jess. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the time. I'm Pete Caraha with McGriff. And we have printed copies as well. Would you like us to hand some of the printed copies?
I have a PDF that you sent. Two printed copies up here.
Great. Well, while Rich hands those out, I'll also reference, if you could go to the next slide on the screen. So as part of our benefits strategy planning with the county, Jess and her team.
One copy. Anyone? We're good. Thank you, Rich.
You're welcome.
All right, and we're on page 2. So as part of our benefits planning process with the county, the dental program was a focal point for 2025. To identify different solutions, we looked not just at the financials of a range of dental administrators for your plan, but also the network strength. So how many dentists accept the insurances that the county offers. So the following slides, we'll go through 2 slides. We have detail in the appendix, but the next 2 slides will cover both the active dental plan that you offer your active employees, and then the retiree dental plan that you offer to your retirees. So on slide 3, today, the county self-insures your dental plan. It's administered by Delta Dental. So what that means is Delta Dental, you pay an administrative fee for Delta Dental to process claims, and then the county pays those claims as people go to the dentist and what that amounts to. So That amounts approximately to $800,000 over the course of the year, where $750,000 is what, people going to the dentist, the actual claims of people going, and $50,000 in administrative fees for Delta Dental to process those claims. The county offers this benefit very generously there's no payroll deduction for employees to be part of this plan. The challenge is that over the last year, there's been a material increase in members voicing concern over disruption of their dental providers leaving Delta Dental's network. This is not unique to the county. Delta Dental has historically not raised any of their rates in what they reimburse dental providers, and so those dental providers have been leaving the network. And so people have been going to a dentist that no longer accepts the insurance that the county offers. To put that into perspective, in 2023, 70% of the claims that were paid across the 522 dental providers that were utilized by county employees and their families were in the network. So 30% were not participating, did not accept Delta Dental. So a solution and recommendation as a result of the evaluation of different administrators, different dental administrators, their financial strength, their network strength, is to move dental administrators from Delta Dental to United Concordia. United Concordia, or UCCI, represents the dental administrator with the strongest network of participating providers among those utilized by county employees and their families. So 79% of claims among those 522 dental providers would be in network. And that's a 10% improvement over Delta Dental. While some providers in Delta's network do not participate with United Concordia, that's what we call disruption. There are more providers that participate with United Concordia that do not participate with Delta Dental. In addition to the network strength, financially, a move to United Concordia is estimated to be favorable as a result of more dental providers accepting that insurance coverage. So by approximately 3%, it would be financially more favorable to the county and to the county's employees based on the combination of network utilization improvement and the discounts that United Concordia has with their dental providers. Should I wait to the end for any questions, or would you prefer I keep going into the retiree plan?
Finish up.
Go ahead and finish up.
Okay. Thank you. On slide 4, summary from the retiree perspective. So current state, the county also self-insures the retiree dental plan, which is also administered by Delta Dental. So in a similar way, the county pays Delta Dental an administrative fee, and then Delta Dental invoices the county for claims when the retirees go to get dental care. This amounts to about $131,000 per year, which is comprised of $122,000 in claims and administrative costs of around $9,000 for the 238 retirees enrolled in the plan. Retirees pay 100% of the cost of this plan based on an estimate of what those costs will be in the year ahead. The challenge is that because it's self-insured, if the actual claims expenses exceed the projected expenses for the year, the county pays that difference. So for example, this past year, actual expenses for the retiree plan were approximately $5,000 more than expected, which the county absorbed. So a solution and recommendation would be in alignment with alongside the active plan, moving to United Concordia and moving to a fully insured plan that aligns administrators with the active dental plan. So by moving the retiree plan to be fully insured, since it's 100% retiree paid, a fully insured dental plan would provide fixed rates and expenses for the retiree with no risk exposure to the county. United Concordia has proposed a rate schedule that we have at the bottom of this page, which would include the same strong network of providers available to active employees if United Concordia is selected. So you could see the difference in the rates at the very bottom. It ranges by about $2.71 more per month, or $6.23 more per month if you're enrolled with other dependents. So I will pause there. We have an appendix of supporting detail behind all of the numbers and information about the different carriers that we went out to that led to these recommendations. But at this time, do you have any questions?
Under the current plan, just because a dentist doesn't participate with Delta Dental doesn't mean that Delta Dental doesn't reimburse. They don't reimburse at the same rate. It's significantly less, but that goes through the individual. And I know that because my dentist is not part of Delta Dental. I don't know if my dentist is part of United Concordia, but would that work in a similar fashion? Would you still have a benefit, but it would be a lesser benefit because they're not in network? Or is it the same and it just goes through the individual? And I wasn't completely aware that it was less until we recently had an issue and my wife called and talked to somebody at Delta Dental and they recommended we find a different dentist that we would, they would pay a lot more of the claim if it's a dentist in network.
That's exactly it. So with United Concordia, if you went to a provider that was out of network, that provider would be reimbursed at a lower amount, and then
Okay,
you
same
as the
thing.
employee would pick up the balance.
Okay. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, this is our choice. We've gone to the same dentist for several decades and probably not going to change. So we'll get what we get.
Interestingly, some survey data suggests that people have a harder time moving dentists than medical providers. People are very loyal to their dentists.
When somebody doesn't beat me up working on my teeth, I'm pretty loyal.
Do you know what the provider disruption is, what number that is, and what's the gain providers?
I do. That is on slide 9. So if you look on slide 9, with the United Concordia, approximately 3.3% of claims that are currently in network with Delta Dental would be out of network with United Concordia. And then 16% of claims that are currently out of network with United Concordia would move in network with United Concordia.
But do you have a number that says, okay, if we leave Delta Dental, that would be 15 dentists that would no longer be covered as in network, and with United Concordia we would add 25. I just making those numbers up, but is there a number like that?
We do have that. It's not somewhere. It's behind this data. We can follow up with the specific number of providers that represent the gains and the disruption.
Okay. Then my other question would be, we looked at doing the fully insured plan for retirees. What would that look like for current employees? Is it even worth considering that? Or I'm sure you looked at it as well, but
it would not, because you have such a large population enrolled, fully insured. For the carrier to take on that risk, they would charge an additional premium for that risk. There is any catastrophic claim in dental becomes it's a medical claim. So there is not, in a similar way in healthcare, you can have a catastrophic claim that could be millions of dollars. That doesn't exist within the dental plan. So by self-funding, you're minimizing additional expenses by only paying the administrative fee and then paying
Whatever is used.
exactly for how
Yeah.
your people are utilizing the plan.
Okay. Right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Can I?
Sure.
My turn, real quick. I just want to be clear. We're expanding the network, and it's going to be cheaper for the county.
Correct.
All right.
Because of the administrative fee.
The administrative fee, but more. So if it's
Okay.
not just that, if let's say you had two providers if there were two dentists in the world, and if none of them participated, then any discount that Delta were negotiating with providers wouldn't have any value. But if those two providers participated with United Concordia, then even if they had a lower discount, it would be a lot more valuable to the county because people are actually getting those discounts. So that concept of having more providers in network and so making the most of the discounts that United Concordia has negotiated with those providers, that's how that benefits the county and employees financially.
And the county ultimately pays less on the reimbursement.
Exactly.
Delta Dental never paid out of pocket. United Concordia isn't paying anything out of pocket. They're managing our dental program, and the fee is lower for United Concordia, but because they have more people and there are more dentists in the network and they're more aggressive, they have better pricing.
So it's Delta Dental actually has lower discounts. If everybody only went to Delta providers, that would be beneficial. The challenge is that Delta's network is shrinking, and so people are going more out of network. So as a result, the county is not benefiting as much, and employees are not benefiting as much.
So I'm one of those out of network guys. I have to find out if the dentist.
I'm not even sure.
If
I've had
you get the
experience.
check
I've had
to your
experience for about
phone,
25 years with UCCI, and I've never had a problem. They've done a great job.
Yeah.
Because I'm in another plan, but so the personal experience has been very positive. Thank you.
If anyone wonders whether their dentist is in the plan or out of the plan, if you get your reimbursement check at home in your name, it's because your dentist is out of network. If your dentist is in network, they are reimbursed directly, correct?
Correct.
That's what my dentist has told me, and I have to watch for that check and then endorse it, send it in, or drop it off at my
You have to
dentist's
manually submit
office.
that. Correct.
Okay, any other questions? So thank you very much, Peter and Rich. Jess, recommendation of HR? I assume, but I don't want to assume.
Yeah, no, it's our recommendation that we make the move. I think it's beneficial to our employees. We didn't touch on this, but we are seeing more and more dentists that are dropping out of Delta. So I can see this continuing to become a problem. And I think the switch to United Concordia would be a good move.
The question I do have, two things. One, when do we need to make this vote? Obviously, I don't think we will do that today. We need a contract to vote on. And then two, is there any ability for us to promote this, not just to our employees, but more importantly, to the dentists in the area? Because are we going to be able to publish a list of dentist offices that are in network?
I would. You can probably.
United Concordia maintains that list because at any point in time, new dentists come in, new dentists might leave. So that list is fluid, and United Concordia, similar to Delta Dental, they publish and maintain those lists. But to the first part of your question, both Delta and United Concordia always encourage, if your dentist does not participate, any kind of promotion to say, would you be willing to consider participating? At the end of the day, it's up to the provider to decide if they want to or not, but they always encourage that advocacy on behalf.
Okay, we could always go into the dentist and say, either you accept this or we're going to have a dental divorce.
And they'd say, okay, bye.
You don't know my dentist.
As far as a decision, we need it relatively soon. Again, if we're making this change, it's work behind the scenes with our Oracle system to get everybody moved over and make sure everything is in pretty good shape before we transition into 2025.
I mean, I support moving forward.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So
Great.
let's, you have the unofficial unanimous support, and as soon as you have a document or contract for us to get an agenda, let's get that to Amanda and our team, and we'll move forward.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
do we need to discuss the retiree plan?
The retiree plan, I'm supporting both.
What are you supporting the
questions?
retiree plan?
What's that?
What are you supporting of the retiree plan to go with the,
United Concordia,
well, the fully insured plan?
fully insured, yeah. I think that's a good option. It's not costing the county, but it gives something to our retirees that we've negotiated to save them money. You okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Good? Good. That brings us to the end of the agenda. Again, no public comment in person, and checking online, nothing online.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting stands adjourned.